Okay, welcome back to the second half of the name splitter tutorial. Now I'm going to be showing you how to complete your program and how to get it up and running so we can split our name. Right, in the last tutorial I left you with the fact that our output isn't really how we wanted it. Now we're going to have to include a Boolean variable, and basically this is a true or false variable. You may or may not know. And what I'm going to say is I'm going to create this as first name done. It's first name done, and that's going to equal false to start with, because the function of this variable is we're going to say has the first name already been stored. Okay, so coming down here, let's run through this. So for every letter, we're going to take the letter, compare it to a space. If it is a space, we're going to say if it isn't a space, we're going to store it in the first name. If there is a space, we're going to store everything from that space in the second name. However, the problem with this is that at the moment we are storing it in one variable. No, sorry, we're not storing it in one variable. But what's happening is it's not splitting it correctly enough. Actually, in fact, I think we are storing it in one variable. Let's just check this. So we'll just echo out first name, and with our code as it is at the moment, that's how we're echoing out Alex Garrett as the first name. And if we say echo out the last name, there's nothing. So this is the problem I ran into when I first created this code. Okay, so what we need to do is, if it doesn't equal a space, we need to say that it's stored here. If it does equal a space, i.e. else, we need to say that the first name has already been stored. So for future use, the program's going to say, well, I've stored the first name, now I'm going to go onto the last name variable and start storing. So here we're going to say first name done equals true. So this is telling the program that if a space has been hit, we're going to say that we've already stored as much as we need up to the space inside this variable. So first name done equals true. And we're going to incorporate this into our if statement to say if the string, the current character doesn't equal a space and the first name has already been stored, so and first name done equals false. If it hasn't been stored already, sorry. So if it hasn't been stored, and if the first name hasn't been stored, and we haven't encountered a space, then we can store our first name. Because if the first name's already been stored, there's no point in carrying out this. This is why our second name was previously being input to our first name variable, if you follow. Let's take that out of there. Okay, so now what we should do is we should have the program run through like this. We should have the full name entered through the HTML form up here, and then we have this set to false, which you should always do, because I like to call it guilty until proven innocent. It basically means that it's always going to be false until it's true, until it's been made true by another part of my program. It can be true to start with, it depends on how your program works. So we store our full name, we check for our full name, otherwise we say please type a name. Now for each character of the length of the string, using this function here, storing in this variable here, we're going to add 1 each time. So for each loop it's going to say start at A, L, E, X, and the reason it's keeping a single character is because of this here. If the character doesn't equal a space and the first name hasn't yet been stored, which it hasn't because we're still running through up until the space, the first name still needs to be stored, then store whatever it finds, which is this here. Store whatever it finds in the first name variable. Now obviously it's a loop, so it'll get to the end, it will come back to the start, and it will say, is it a space? It will say yes, it is a space. Now is the first name yeah, it will say yes, it is a space. So we're going to say, because it's a space, we're going to be coming onto this else bit, and first name done equals false. Now as soon as first name done set here to true, this whole statement will be false. Okay, because this will be false, it won't equal a space. Okay, so the characters say X, the character after X is a space, so that won't equal a space, and the first name done, Boolean variable, is set to true here. Okay, so we come down to here and we say continue to last name, because first name's always set to true in this instance, we keep storing the last name and that continues to store. Okay, so now we can echo out our results. What I'm going to do is I'm going to echo them in a bit more of a user friendly way. I'm going to say echo, let's bring this down, and I'm going to say input type equals text and the value equals, and we're going to incorporate our first name variable into that, and we can copy this and say that the second box is last name. Okay, so let's go back to our page and let's type Alex again, Alex Garrett, split, and oh hello. Right, let's see what else has gone wrong here. I know. Single equals. I need double equals in there. Okay, let's go back and try it again. Silly mistakes that you can make. Split, and there we go. We've got Alex and we've got Garrett. Now this is all well and good, it's splitting my name. We can type anything else, let's say Kyle Hedon, split. Okay, it's working, we know that it's working. However, if you see here there's a space. Okay, because what we didn't do is we carried on from where there was a space, but we included the space. Now to solve this, what I'm going to do is just before I echo out my last name, just here, I'm going to say that the last name, right, and this is another function, equals substring, and we're going to say last name, which is what we want to do, and we're starting at the first, okay, which is, sorry, it's length of 1, and here is what we want to keep. Okay, so from here we want to keep this amount of characters minus 1, because if we were saying we want to keep the amount of characters, we're basically saying we want to keep every single character. So to put this in, we're basically saying from the last name and from 1, we're going to say we want to keep the length minus 1 because it's from 1. And let's Alex Garrett split. Oh, okay, I forgot my line terminator there. Let's refresh, and there you go. We've got no space. Let's just try it again with another name. Let's split, and you'll see there's no space present anywhere. We've got plain Kyle, plain Hedon, and for whatever name you type in there. So we've successfully made our name splitting program. If you've got any questions or comments or anything you need help with, just feel free to email me or contact me through YouTube. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.